Yeah, on the
There's
right.
one tile free, and he's gonna wall it. Oh no!
Yeah, that's
All right, so hello everyone, and welcome to Game 4. This is turning out to be a really good series between Yo and Nicov. Nicov just with the walls in the first game and winning that way. Yo with some very critical mistakes in Game 2 and 3 in the early game, but then able to bring things back with some super excellent play. And I'm pretty excited for this game as well. I'm really loving all of these maps. This is another unique map. It's very weird. It makes no sense as far as physics is concerned, with the water being on the outside of the hills. But this is gonna be good. Aztecs and Mongols.
yeah, man. The physics, the loss of physics completely beaten, and also those little dragons chilling on these shallows on the sides, the lizards. It's beautiful, but yeah, it's a fantastic series so far. Really enjoyable. We got Mongols versus Aztecs. I mean, first of all, let's understand this map. Okay, so laws of physics, one story. The other story is you start on this hugely elevated area. It reminds me of Acropolis, first of all, and then you have this middle part. You have a lot of little wood lines as well as golden stone. Towers could matter on this map. Don't really understand this water on the side, but it's legit asked you to go for a dock and get the water for sure. Otherwise, you're gonna have a disadvantage if the other guy goes there, because you have a lot of deep sea fish, so that's a good one. And it's a mixture between Acropolis and any other water map that has water on the side, so to speak. And you have the shallows in the middle once again. Of course, that is not connected to the water on the side. That is also something to keep in mind. I'm not so entirely sure which units we would see, but the fact that we have Mongols, I'm very sure that we're going to have some fast scouts, some fast feudal age by Yo here. I need to switch the colors. We got Brennan 4 colors activated once again. There we go. But Aztecs is also a nice civilization to play it aggressively. Interesting civs.
Yeah, a really nice. I really love this civilization matchup for the Mongols. And the first big reason is because there are so many hunt. When you balance a map, you can't put so much hunt on the map because sometimes some players going to pick the Mongols, and that's just too big of an advantage. But Yo is going to have a really nice time with his economy early game with all of these extra deer. As well, Mongols is a great rush civilization for water. So they have that advantage as well, since they could go up to the next age earlier. And whenever I see the Mongols and Aztecs matchup, I just think the Aztecs have such a hard time against Mangudie. I know there's only 2 stones on the mainland, but if the Mongols could somehow get to Mangudie, there's really no unit that the Aztecs can make that can counter them, aside from maybe the Atlatl skirmishers.
Exactly, Atlatl skirmishes is a good idea, but Eagles not so much. Especially, I guess, from all the Mesocivs, the Eagles of the Aztecs are the least ideal in that kind of matchup, because they just get garlic wars or garlic wars.
Garlic wars.
I love to say it every time. I even say it up to a point where it's even normal to me to say garlic wars. But yeah, El Dorado,
it should be called garlic wars. That's not funny.
I mean, it makes more sense, man, because of the garlic that just melts through the armor of your opponents. And yeah, so El Dorado's nicer, Korea's is nicer. But yeah, the Garland Wars, man, it's not so ideal. As you said, it's Atlatl skirmishes that can work. But we'll see how soon we're going to see those Mangudies, maybe. As you said it correctly, we just have 2 tiles. That is enough for a castle, as I see it here. 700 stone in total. But we'll see where this is going to go. Yo already going for Loom, and Nicov already on the way. That is the interesting thing. The Aztecs player clicks up first in this matchup. Interesting.
Well, there's the thing that there are no boars on this map, so Yo has to take quite a bit of idle time if he wants to get those deer. He actually didn't get too many of those deer, so that might have played a big role.
Yeah. I mean, that's insane. We have that much of deer, and indeed not much was gathered.
They weren't lured into the town center. I didn't see too many lured.
Yeah, I see a couple of dead deers on the side, not close to the TC. Interesting. Strange. But okay, we'll check it out. Also, one other fact that is worth pointing out is that Nicov is adding a second dock, and this one is towards the middle, whereas Yo only has one dock on the left-hand side, at the safe spot, so to speak. Both pairs, interestingly, have chosen the opposite side. So Nicov is on the right-hand side with the dog, and Yo on the left-hand side. So they won't necessarily attack each other on the safe spots, on the safe pawns on the sides. But the middle will be interesting, as Nicov now is going there with a fire galley. Interesting.
Yeah, so both players docking on the opposite side, so their fish will be 100% safe for the time being. And Yo came forward with the villager. It was scouted by Nicov. As soon as it was scouted, Yo went back, and now he's going to go with scouts, and I think that's the best play. I would really be concerned for Yo if he tried to drop a forward, and Nicov would just be coming with galleys and men-at-arms. But smartly, Nicov is not building any militia either from his barracks, so both players kind of know what's happening. They seem to have good scouting information on each other.
Yeah, exactly. That's valuable scouting information, adjusting yourself before it's too late, and therefore it might be a safer game for both of the players. Nicov now with the Navy, Yo with the Scouts. Scouts vs Navy, yesterday it was insane. Man, as expected, this is not normal. The shallow. This is beach. Do you see the Flying Dutchman next to?
I do. It's so weird.
Overing, man. It's overing. It's beach, man. So you can travel between the ponds.
Oh,
you can travel between the
oh,
ponds.
it reminds me of a scene in like Pirates of the Caribbean 2 where they're going in like a cyclone or something, and it looks like that. Looks like they're like traveling on a hill or floating on a hill or something like that. It's really weird.
Flying Dutchman, man. Wow. Okay, so you can hover. That's cool. That's cool. It's also insane. But I'm not so sure if Nicov was actually aware of this, because why else would he then have two dogs? No, okay, he's just going for full aggression here. That's why. Makes sense. Okay, fair enough. A lot of galleys. Nicov tries to take over the map like that. Fair enough.
Yeah, and this completely threw me off. I thought that terrain was land units only, and that completely changes the dynamic of this map. Nicov going really heavy onto the water because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a completely different dynamic.
It's yeah, unexpected at this point, but things happen, I guess, and there we go. I mean, it's gonna change everything. I mean, with that one, you can surround your opponent that easily. Ask myself.
Scouts are in.
Scouts are in? Wow, how did that happen, man? I mean, okay, the resource walls there on a fleek, I guess.
Oof.
One villager isn't in danger. Nothing happening. One scout is down. Okay, okay. Besides that, though, what else is going to happen? Nicov now with a spearman. I guess the scouts will now have a tougher time to be activated. In the meantime, though, Nicov is hunting down the fishing boats of Yo.
Yeah, I was about to say these so many fire galleys from Nicov, and they're not really able to do anything because they can't get to the main economy of Yo. However, at this point, they're killing the fishing ships, which is a big deal. Fishing ship count right now is 4 to. Well, it's actually Yo's killing the fishing ships of Nicov as well, so a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah, true. I just witnessed it here. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So both are trying to go for maximum raiding potential. Fair enough. What about the rest? So Yo switching into archers. No more scouts, but archers. Okay, fair enough. That might work. I'm not the biggest fan of it, though. I mean, I understand it. The archers against the bolts will work nicely. But they're also slow-paced units. Until they arrive on the other side, a couple of years will pass. So we'll see how successful that's going to work. But it is how it is. Both are raiding each other. I estimate that Nicov is a bit more dangerous because he has double the military amounts. That is at least something that I sense here, that it might have more potential. But we're going to check it out.
We see something in this game we've never seen before. No, I was about to say, I got it mixed up. Yo has the wheelbarrow. I thought Nicov made wheelbarrow early, but he did.
Never.
Oh gosh.
Aftermath there.
Another time. Oh man.
Yeah.
Just for those of you that don't know, my opinion on wheelbarrow, I think wheelbarrow is a very good tech if you're farming.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think wheelbarrow is very useful. Otherwise, it's better to have villagers. So that's just my 2 cents.
Now you're right. I mean, especially if you have water, you know, wheelbarrow can be delayed for sure. Should be, even to a certain extent. But for Aftermath players, they play even Arabia like water maps then, in that concern. So they try to just delay it as much as possible. Maybe with that kind of philosophy to have more villagers, maybe. But yeah, it is how it is. But I also see that Yo is now about to lose the control. He's trying to travel with his archers there. But as said, long way to go. A lot of Dracons also
Oh,
chasing
no!
these archers.
Not the
Yeah, man.
Komodos.
Wow.
What, Demise, what does the Komodo say?
What does the Komodo say? What do they say?
I don't know. I've never heard a Komodo dragon.
Oh my god. Oh my god, man. Okay.
I'm just saying we have woo woo for the wolves. What do we say for the Komodos?
I mean, I can maybe guess what kind of sound they do, but at the same
If this
time...
game grows large enough and we have enough streamers, we'll have the T90 woos, and then some players eventually going to pick up the Komodo. We have the hippos.
Yeah,
Will be their
I guess
brand.
the sound that the Komodo makes is more of a frightening one, and if a human, imitates that one, it might scare off the viewers, and that's how I feel it.
Well, I can do that myself. Thank you.
Komodo dragons, man. Yeah. So this is it, man. The Komodo dragons, they've just slain the innocent archers before they were even able to kill villagers. Unfortunate. Yo is going for the next stage. 21 minutes 23. Nicov is 1 minute later. Okay, no problem for now, because he's the one having the map in his hands, surrounding Yo entirely. Yo also, if I said correctly, without water, really, just 2 fishing boats.
This looks like an awfully similar situation to last game, where Yo was completely surrounded, having a lot of idols, and it looked like there's no way for Yo to come back. It still doesn't look like a good situation for Yo right now, but I know that Yo is going to have a castle pretty soon, so he is going to try something right here.
Yeah, something must happen really fast. I mean, otherwise it will be a bit messed up, to say the least. The castle will be helpful. The question is for how long. I think it will be really helpful, because once you got the safety, you have the Mangudie, all of a sudden the dynamics can change. Mangudie versus the Navy in this tournament is a good one for the Mangudie, so we'll check it out. Bloodline's already in the making. The issue with Mangudie is, of course, they require a lot of time until they're strong enough, but I think Yo will have enough time to actually achieve these things without dying before, and then it will be still possible for him to make it an equal game. But for now, Nicov has the upper hand.
Yeah, Nicov has so much army out on the map right now. It is pretty ridiculous. It's 9 galleys, 5 fire galleys, a handful of archers and skirmishers, and also now a villager lead. But as soon as I saw the civilization matchup, Mongols and Aztecs, I've seen enough to know that the Aztecs really have a tough time against Mangudie, more so than any other civilization, I think. So I'm really expecting these Mangudie to do quite a bit, and for them to be quite a bit of a challenge for Nicov, even though he's got so much army. And this is great by Nicov, doing the raiding right now. If he can get some villagers, that would be great.
He must do that. As you said it, he is in the inferior situation if it comes to Civ versus Civ, so he must be as aggressive as possible, just to make sure that there cannot be this very situation in which he will suffer. And there we go, the TC might... Nah, it will go up for sure. Just looked at it and it is built up. And, well, the crossbows are gonna die, at least also the archers of Yo are gonna die. That is something, but the Mangudies are in the making. 3 in total, husbandry has been researched. Broadcast arrow is there as well. It's looking quite okay. And there we see it. Nicov is going for elite skirmishes. That's going to be his response to what is going to happen very soon.
Yeah, so a big failed raid from Nicov, losing all of those archers for nothing. Great timing on that TC from Yo. And I think skirmishers is probably the best play you can do in conjunction with the galleys. The skirmishes will be good late game as well if you can get a castle. But maybe you're able to just defend those small sections of your economy with skirmishers. They don't have to move around too much, and the galleys will take care of the rest. And I think that could be effective.
Work. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you need to be in a situation where the Mangudies are forced to engage in a fight where the skirmishers are there as well. So that's the issue if you have mobile units such as the Mangudie that can actually avoid those fights if needed. But if done correctly, and especially in the conjunction, as I said, with those ships, you can maybe force these Mangudies to do something. And for that one, Nicov just needs to be as aggressive as possible to have a situation in which the Mangudie are maybe used in a defensive measure. That would be, of course, ideal for Nicov. We'll see if it's going to get there. I'm more curious about the archer ranges, when and where there will be new ones, because obviously the skirmishers will run a long way until they can be utilized in the front. So that's going to take some time.
And here comes those Mangudie. The Mangudie, I think they are faster than the boats, so they will have the mobility advantage. Unfortunately, running straight into skirmishers, and you can see the skirmishers do some good damage.
Yeah, that's huge because we're talking about castle units vs archer rangers units. Obviously, castle units are more valuable in that concern. Reinforcing them number-wise will take a long time. And the Mangrove are trying to go for something. Yeah, one is down. A lot of Navy units are chasing them as well. Not so sure if it's going to work for Nicov. He needs more army and maybe a better plan to actually utilize them.
This is such a huge risk from Yo. I thought Yo was going to go back, and he's actually going further into the base. He's going to get gated. I think there's one tile free.
Yeah, on the right.
There's one tile free, and he's going to wall it. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Yeah, that's GG for those Mangudies at least.
If they got around. If they got around, they would have survived.
Yeah, at least the boats don't...
Actually... Wow, you're right, those boats don't do anything.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time for them to actually kill them, so they were only able to kill 2 in total. So imagine if there are more Mangudies. All of a sudden, the boats are becoming ineffective.
You have to keep in mind these Mangudie aren't even fully upgraded in the castle age. They don't. They're getting ballistics now. They don't have thumb ring yet. They can get even stronger.
Yeah, they can get even stronger. Even able to get a monk here, I guess. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. And Yo is even going forward. So despite... That's actually quite smart. That's actually a Stark type of play. You go to the front with an army, get the attention of your opponent, and you take over the middle like that. Because all of a sudden we have a TC and a siege workshop. That was nicely done. Because a few minutes ago that was Navy all over the place.
I'm actually really worried for Nicov because this was the worst case scenario for the Mangudie. They got caught out by the skirmishers. They got caught in a corner by the galleys. Yeah. And still 3 of them survived and was able to kill a villager and a monk. I'm actually really worried about this.
Yeah, it can be really bad for Nicov if it continues like that, because if there are more Mangudies, if they're fully upgraded, it will be tough. Nicov, interestingly, going for Imperial Age now, and you see that scale mail armor. What does that have to mean here? What does he want to do? He's building more barracks. For what reason? Does he want to go for Eagles now?
Oh, but I don't think this can work. I don't think you can go for Eagles with only 65 villagers on this kind of map. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, to say the least, it's going to be tough for sure, for sure. So I'm asking myself, maybe something else? Does he want to go in there with more traction?
I think skirmishers would still be the correct option. Maybe get another armor, get bracer. I think that would be the correct option instead of Eagles.
Yeah, he's producing more skirmishers at least, but he's also going for Eagles. So it's a combination. That is maybe not the most ideal, but maybe that's the gamble. So Nicov tries to have the upper hand by going for all the defensive upgrades. So he has +4 Pierce armor in the end. As long as Yo is not in Imperial Age, it can maybe work at least in that very time, where the Mangudies are maybe not strong enough to kill those Eagles that easily. Maybe that's the idea. I'm not sure.
I still... There's only 2 Eagles on the field. They are going to get at least one of these Mangonels.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And both of them going down.
Yeah, that's some nice value for 2 Eagles. And there we go, Imperial Age. So that's gonna be interesting. When is Yo gonna click up? Yo, interestingly, has more than 1k gold. Where is the food?
Yeah, another big economy mismanagement mistake from Yo. Way too much gold. Could have been up to the Imperial Age if he managed his economy a little bit better, or could have had a castle. You could do a lot of things with 1,300 gold. I think a castle would be so valuable for Yo if you wanted to buy one. Would be quite expensive, but I think it could work out.
Man, if Yo just had a better economy, I guess he could achieve way more for now. For now, Nicov is actually rewarded for going for Imperial Age before his opponent, with actually a quite weak economy. At least Aztecs economy.
I think these Mangudie are good enough to clean up all these war galleys. There's been no benefit of this Imperial Age. It's not like Nicov's able to research Galleon. I don't think he's researched the Bracer upgrade quite yet. So there's been no benefit of that. If Yo wanted to engage these Galleons, if he could find a good angle, I think he could be able to kill the army of Nicov.
Yeah, that's a question what he's gonna do. My guess is that he's not even gonna upgrade those galleys for now. He's gonna upgrade the Eagles even further on. What I'm talking about is actually the last defensive upgrade. There we go, plate armor on Eagle Warrior. So that's the big gamble here. So instead of going for additional techs that you can get in PLH for the sake of the existing army, he's creating this new army, namely the Eagles, and wants to upgrade them to make sure that there is this imbalance of Imperial Age Eagles vs Castle Age Mangudies. That's the idea. Not that it's a perfect one, but it is one strat. We'll see.
It might be good enough, and Yo might be thinking about maybe light cav. The Mongols light cav is actually the strongest light cav in the game in Castle Age. So I'm wondering if Yo's considering like a big Castle Age play with just Mangudie and light cav.
It might be too late for this kind of play because I don't see momentum for this. But as you said, he's going for light cav, right? So it seems that he wants to invest more food. It might seem that he wants to stay in Castle Age. I'm not so sure if that's the right decision. We have this engagement where the Mangudie are cleaning up quite some boats here. Elite skirmishers are trying their best as well. Nicov going for foraging for the sake of his eagles. The eagles so far haven't done too much. Not so sure what's going to happen.
Talking about momentum, I think that the momentum... I mean, Nicov never really gained it back. He got those...
Yeah.
Since he never got those upgrades, never was able to push the army. Yo's army's going to get much stronger now with the addition of the demos and the Hussar, and as well that Castle for Yo is going to be able to stop anything since Nicov doesn't have siege.
And now at the same time, the Mangudies are finally... Oh no, they just killed one villager there. I just thought, maybe this castle now, though. Look at this castle. Could it be that this engagement is a bloody one? There's a lot of units.
Oh, here we go!
Probably engage.
Here comes the demos!
Oh, nice! But
Killing
the
a
castle
lot
is
of
there,
eagles.
so he could garrison.
Yeah.
A few units died. At least.
I was secretly hoping the demos would kill the castle, but I don't think they could do that.
That would be so awesome, man. Of course. But yeah,
I've seen it before.
unfortunately not possible.
Oh, I've seen it before.
Yeah. So, interestingly though, Yo still has a quite nice situation. Now on the right-hand side, getting down this monastery, he's still building up pressure, denying this TC as well. That's beautiful. So left-hand side might be saved by Nicov, but the right-hand side is still vulnerable, and that's where Yo's Mangudies are currently at. Looking at the resources, Yo's still with a lot of gold that he doesn't really spend. And it seems that you are absolutely correct with that one. He wants to stay in Castle Age, at least for now. He's producing light calves. He's going to have those fast-paced units that will chase the remaining ones that will clean up the mess so the Mangudies can come into the middle and kill the most valuable units. So that's the big idea. TC still not up. Pressure is on. Those light calves will counter those elite skirmishes. So that's a great idea. But now it's the tough thing. And that's the aspect of this, how's it called, Acropolis type of future. The defender has the advantage due to this elevation. So as long as Nicov camps on the hill, he can get some nice kills. But we'll see.
These light cav are just so strong. If you compare the statistics of a Mongol's light cav and an Eagle Warrior, even with the plate mail armor, these light cav are probably the strongest unit on the field, aside from the Mangudie. They just add so much to Yo's army. Of course, Yo has to kind of stop the push. On the left side, he's going to lose all of the gold, but Yo still has access to gold on the right side. So this area, for Mr. Yo, he can't lose it.
That's quite balanced at this point, actually. On the left-hand side, Nicov has the upper hand. On the right-hand side, Yo is there. But one advantage finally that we see is the existence of trebuchets. Not that it is a good one against Mangudies who could quickly go in and kill trebs. But just saying, at least the trebs are there to make sure that there's some kind of advantage that Nicov could have.
So many Mangudie, and finally they're going to get fully upgraded with the Thumb Ring upgrade. So they're still not even at peak power yet. But there's just so many Mangudie. Somehow Nicov is going to have to whittle these Mangudie down. And I think the only thing that can do that might be Skirmisher.
Yeah. Might be the Skirmisher. Now we see the Eagles engaging with +4. But yeah, I guess they surely need more attack upgrades as well to function properly. I mean, as properly as they can, being Aztecs, Eagles, vs the Mangudies. But that is it. No sign of skirmishes. Just 3 on the pitch. It's unfortunate.
Those Eagles actually are able to tank quite a bit, even though they don't have much damage output. If somehow Nicov could afford the Elite Eagle Warrior upgrade, that would be a game changer.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of changes, the castle is about to be denied here for Nicov in the middle of the pitch. It's actually quite nice for Yo. He's buying himself more time with that one. There we go. That's a denial, at least for now. At least delayed. But he needs to be careful. This castle must not go up from the point of view of Yo. It might be otherwise really, really tough.
It looks like Yo doesn't have enough Hussar on the field. Again, Yo's economy is super imbalanced. 1,000 wood, 1,000 gold. What he needs is a lot of food now for Hussar. Gonna try to deny this castle one more time, and there it goes. It's gonna be up.
Now, at least a lot of villagers died. That is one thing.
And Yo calling GG. Wow.
Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. But then again, really fortunate for the game. Because we'll have a full series, right? If I'm correct. We have even Steven now. And that means that we will see the last game, right?
Yeah. This was a really good one. Again, it's still super close. And again, I just at different points of the game, I thought a player had a significant advantage and the momentum swing back in the other way. I think these are the best Age of Empires games where you have different momentum swings and players with advantages that can come back.
For sure.
Not every game, not every strategy game or every game you see, oftentimes players have an advantage and there's no momentum and just the game is won. But these are just really excellent games, and I'm really
exactly. I
this.
fully agree with this one. I mean, it depends on the civs, the map, but especially on the players. But with such powerful players like Nicov and Yo, you can surely have these moments because they're so capable of actually going for these really high-stake situations where they just go in and sacrifice, but get out a lot as well. And this was a really nice matchup. It's an interesting map. First time that we've seen it was really cool. Interesting to see those floating boats, but at the same time, crazy to see that the Mongols were not able to do it in a situation where a faster Imperial Age was triggered, so to speak, that was not directly utilized, but at some point, slowly but steadily, the Aztecs player took over, and it paid off probably to have those +4 eagles, and in the end, no more castles, no more Mangudie, and it was over.
Yeah, absolutely. Some very critical moments, even in the Imperial Age, with the castle getting up. Just a really great game and really great series.